Okay, here we are. We're going to do balance. I've got a whole bunch of toys in my hands. So we're going to foot roll to start. This whole segment will be about balance. I'm just giving you a close-up of some foot rollers so you can take a glance around your house, see what you've got. So we've got cans, we've got lacrosse balls, I've got things that I've purchased from different places. Enjoy, whatever you do. Okay, so I'm going to put a few down, maybe 3, let's say. Why don't you pick 3, and then we'll roll our feet. I'm going to leave the can out. I rolled it in the other video. I know some of this is repetition, which is a good reminder. Some things in life, particularly taking care of the body, have some repetition to them, but then there's also novelty. In this balance section, we're going to go through a whole bunch of balance poses, maybe familiar to you. Some will have yoga, some are just functional movements, switching your feet if you haven't already to the next side or side B. So we'll have a side A, side B, our first roller. Taking a deep breath, settling in, and then you can roll that away, get it out of your way so you don't trip over it later, and then take out your other object. I happen to be using a ball on this one. I like a small ball that I can pivot my foot on so that I can change the width or the web of my foot in the left to right position, not just the forward to back. Gosh, I'm also noticing how sensitive it is. I'm thinking that's probably because we've had a lot of variable snow outside, so walking, I'm probably clenching my feet a little bit more to feel what's underneath me. So little telltale signs when you roll your feet, I'm sure you have your own, that kind of tell a story of what they've been up to. And then take a few breaths as your brain interprets that. It's great feedback for later. If we're going to work on our balance, switching to side B if you haven't already. Your brain needs a lot of information, and your feet happen to have the terminal ending information of all your nerves. So the more you highlight that area, the easier it is for your brain to work with you, considering it's inside of a dark room. That feels good. My left foot doesn't feel quite as upset. How about yours? Yeah, find some spots. It's not perfect. It's definitely more spontaneous. And that way you find out about your body, and obviously you're interested, because here you are. Okay, roll that one away, and then bring in your third foot roller, whatever it is. If you only had one foot roller, you're just repeating this exercise 3 times. If you're not doing any of that, I've got the next exercise covered for you, so you could just do some foot folds. Right. When I roll my foot now on a little harder idea, what I'm looking for is to see how it feels different in my body. So why don't you do that just the same? Take a couple breaths. One more breath. There we go. And then exhale. Switching over to side B, make sure you adjust the object so that it suits your body, however that is, whatever that feels like for you. It can be comfort, or it could be function. You could be multitasking and working your balance from the get-go. That means you'd be lifting through your body. And again, breathing, 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 breathing. I think I'll slow myself down. I can tell I'm trying to get around something. And then I'm going to just play with that little spot and breathe. More spontaneous than rigid, less predictable. Certainly something we repeat, but it doesn't have to be the exact same pattern of the same repeat. So keep that in mind. Breathing in and exhaling. Okay, our next is going to be ankle rolls. You're just going to see me move my toys backwards so that I don't run into them. With our ankle rolls, you're just going to be bringing your knee forward and rolling your foot around and down and alternating to the other leg. It feels like a dance to me after a while. You can include bigger movements if you feel more spontaneous with your movement, which is fine with me. That also will increase your ability to have balance. The idea that if you take up more space, you'll be able to narrow down more, versus sometimes it's hard to get narrower when you're already feeling a little constricted. Then reverse your roll of your knees, so you're bringing it forward and out, rolling your ankle down. But then to bring it back to the point of the exercise, we're rolling our ankles, so we do have to employ some sort of intention to make sure that gets done, just as well as anything else that you might do creatively. Keeping that in mind, do a couple more. Great, and then any other adjustments you need to make to your ankles, we're going to move on from the body. We're going to be doing some hoofs here. Stomach stays lifted and in and up. Then you're going to take your foot and you're going to drag it backwards and lift the heel up. Again, you can alternate going to the left foot, lifting that heel up. And as you do this, maintain your tailbone's connection to reaching into the ground and remaining grounded. The rest of your spinal column can orchestrate opposition and lift up off and through the pelvis and in through the rib cage and up through the head and neck. Back and forth. Sometimes I'll add a little drag with my foot. That helps me really connect to the muscles on the posterior or the back side of the body. And then as I'm loading one leg, I'm automatically practicing balance. So that's great for my brain, the interpretation in that dark room that I have. And then my feet are getting this nice sweep on the carpet to give my brain information to, okay, take off, and then take off. Great. Breathing in, lifting up, and switching. That's nice. Last one. And then shake it out. Roughly 10, maybe a baker's dozen. If you count, let me know if you really want me to know. Standing hip width apart, we'll do a functional squat. Hip hinge your hips back, reaching your hands forward, and then thrust your pelvis forward to stand tall. Hip hinge back, so you see me hinging right here at the hip, and now I'm going to push my pelvis forward to stand up. Hip hinge back, and push to stand up. As I do that, I'm trying not to make my spine go through a lot of contours. I'm keeping it solid and connected to my hips. My upper abs are making adjustments so that my spinal column doesn't arc too much. Inhaling and then standing up. My knees are working very hard to stay behind my toes. My toes are working equally hard to stay planted on the earth. 2 more times. There you go, and then 1 more time. And then up. Okay? Nice functional squat. So we're going to do the knee hug, thigh stretch. Here we go for our first true balance, because this will take some time and coordination. Bringing your knee into your chest. If you've done the functional 24, this is probably familiar to you. Hold on to your ankle and pull your thigh back. Back and forth you go, trying to stay with the same leg. You just saw me do what I call the typewriter. I slowly had to make ankle adjustments to keep myself level. I'm running into this little microphone here, and it's cramping my style. There we go, that feels good. And then back. You keep going, let me get set up for a profile view. I found this is not an easy thing to do, which is to try to teach you, look at you this way, hi. Back and forth, that's it. Now I'm standing super tall with my standing leg in my ability. Maybe it looks tall, maybe it doesn't. My stomach's pulling in and helping me orchestrate my legs' movement. 1 more time, and then back. Shake that leg out. More importantly, shake out the standing leg. If you're like me, it had to work a little bit to keep me upright. Bring the other knee in, compressing the knee into your chest, standing tall, and then reach your leg back again and grab the ankle or the foot. Again, bring the knee in, and then reach it back. Stomach stays active as the leg goes back and gets a nice stretch. Repeating. What a great balancing exercise. You can tell by bringing the knee through this pendulum motion, your body has to adjust for it. I think that's excellent work. You're keeping the standing leg, the glute active. Try not to lock out the knee. As you reach back, lift your tummy up, keeping your back supported. Maybe get a nice shoulder stretch. I certainly do. And then I'm going to say 2 more. I could be totally wrong. Just feels different on this side, so I'm not completely sure. And then back. Shake out your legs. And then we're going to do stand the man. Again, this is in the functional 24 in case it's familiar to you. I'm going to start profilely so that you can see some of the mechanisms. Bringing your right arm up and your right knee up. Now take them back behind you as you reach your left arm forward, and you let your torso come out onto the horizon, trying to extend your leg long behind you. Then reverse the direction, bringing the right arm and the right knee upward, and the left arm back. Now, you know we're working on balance, so I have to work to stay square in my frame. I have to work very deliberately with my standing leg to make adjustments through my feet. So do you. Use those ankles that we already warmed up. How about that hoof? Can you feel the hoof through the back of both legs, using your hamstrings and glutes? And then, like all things in my studio, there's always a Pilates overlay. How can your cousins come into the picture? How can you use your core and powerhouse to benefit the movement? Keep moving. We're going to do 3 more. I'm just changing the view so that you see different things as you need. Stretching back, trying to keep your shoulders square and your hips square. Coming back forward again. This is our last one. Take your time with it. I've done this twice today, and I can't believe how much better this second time is coming out. And then relax, shake some things out. You don't want to end up putting yourself in some bad positions. It's totally fine to noodle. All right. Okay, so other side. Standing nice and tall, Pilates overlay. Bring your left knee and your left arm up. And then start to find your way with this exercise. You're extending the leg back, reaching your body on the horizon, matching your right arm to your ear. Then bring your right arm down and back. Lift your posture tall, working with your standing leg. In synchronicity, you're letting your eyes track across the room. And for me, I'm just now on this third one, maybe our fourth one, I'm not sure, coming to understand how to incorporate my breath. That's why we repeat them. We're teaching our brain what's out here through our feet, right? And we only have one foot on the floor. Extend your left arm back, your left leg back. Try to square your hips if you can. Strong standing leg brings you forward and up, tracking the room. Keep going. I'm going to turn and face you. That's it. Extend yourself across the horizon. Reach your right arm up to your ear. Try to get your left shoulder parallel to the horizon. Rising back up to left. I hope I'm on the right count. Good shin burn going on right now. I think I'll lift my quad more and see if that helps. And now I'm going to have to come to my trochanter. I hope you go through some of these machinations so that you can work with your body to find it interesting. Oh yeah, there it is. And then home. Wow, that was something. Okay, so we're moving onward. If you're on a mat, great. Now might be a good time if you're not. If you have socks on, now might be a good time to take them off if you're going to get on the mat. I think I'll do this from this direction. So we're going to do Surya Namaskar A and Surya Namaskar B and take it into some balancing poses. So that's the intention here, so that you hear that. I've just brought out the support system I use for my wrists. I do a fist. You're welcome to do a flat hand. Okay, once you're ready, and I'll show you some different positions, but we're relatively dedicated to this profile because of where I'm at filming. So forgive me if it doesn't give you all the views you want to see. Standing at the front of your mat, hip width apart, so an equal standing pose, that's this position. I'll go through the first one with you. Inhale, sweep your arms up and look up towards the ceiling, matching your fingertips first and then your thumbs. Now we're going to do a fold forward. Exhale, stretch your arms apart, looking upwards. Keep your chest lifted without crunching your neck, and fold yourself forward to touch the floor. Now, forward for some people is touching the floor. For other people, it's touching blocks or books. If you've got books in your house, you've got blocks. Now, I'm pretending I have some invisible blocks, but if you can touch the floor, maybe you're on fingertip, maybe you're not. You forward fold with your core active, then inhale and elongate your spine. If you're having trouble in your low back, bend your knees all you like. Bring your head up. This is called a half lift. When the head rises, it comes up last. Then we will forward fold again using our abdominal muscles. Take your body back into a plank so you can place yourself flat with your hands or like me into a fist. And then lowering partway through your push-up. You can lower your knees if you choose. Roll your shoulders back. Open your chest and lift yourself up. You can flatten your feet out. There's also this choice. Maybe that was too big and you're already down on the floor. Great. From there, then you lift up partway, and this is called low cobra. This is higher cobra or cobra. Then when you're ready, and that could be today, next week, whenever, this is the upward dog that is one of the potential positions you could push yourself into. Then you're going to curl your toes under and hinge yourself back into downward dog. Now you might be wondering, why did she pick this for balance? I picked this specifically because it gets you to use your upper body in an equal way and put your head upside down. That's going to improve your balance to begin with. And then this particular sun salutation A, breathing in, stay in this position, I know we're here, exhale. Also get you warmed up for what's coming. When you're ready, bend your knees, lifting your heels, float, walk, step, jump forward towards your hands, and then inhale, elongate your spine as you half lift. You can always do it with bent knees. Then fold forward using your abdominal muscles, reach your crown of your head towards the floor. Reach your arms out to the side and inhale. Lift your back up with strong legs, bringing the hands up to the ceiling, fingers touch, hands come down to your sides. Okay? That's one. Let's do 3 total. So here's number 2. Inhale, sweep up and look up, gentle with your neck. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees at any time. Touching the floor, inhale, lift up or hold on to blocks. Exhale, step back into a plank, flat hands or fists. Lowering down halfway, either in a plank or on your knees. Inhale, sweep yourself up either into upward dog or any variation of cobra. Fold your feet back and under, and then push yourself back and long. 5 breaths here. Yes, 5 breaths. So breathe in as deep as you can. And exhale, include your powerhouse. Find your cousins. Feel your pelvic floor lift in and up. Let your twins reach equally away to let you lift your pelvis higher. 1 more breath. Bend your knees. Exhale, come forward, bringing your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift your spine up, elongating, and then exhale, use your core to bring the crown of your head towards the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms and back, upward, looking up, match your hands, and then bring them down at your sides. Inhale, sweep up, look up, exhale, fold forward and touch the floor. Inhale, half lift, exhale, step back into a plank. Lower all the way to the floor or halfway, sweep up into a cobra or an upward dog, hinge back into a downward dog, and pause and breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Two more breaths. Filling up those delicious, wonderful lungs. Exhale, use your waist muscles. They're so precious. Inhale. And exhale. Bring a dynamic body forward. Half lift, strengthening your legs. Exhale, fold forward, strengthening your spine. Inhale, sweep a strong spine up, the hands together. Exhale, hands at your side. Now we're going to go on to B, and that's going to take us to where we need to go. Bend your knees and sit back into that squat. It's the functional one. We've already been here. Exhale, fold forward. You know what this looks like. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back. Lower halfway, exhaling if you can. Inhale, sweep up. Curl your toes back, downward dog, pause. Inhale, sweep your right leg up to the ceiling. This is 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right foot forward. Now with your back leg, you can keep your heel lifted. You can bend your knee, and you can stand and bring your hands upward. This is called crescent. Okay, so balance, right? Now if this is too much, go down onto a knee. This is also good. This takes balance just the same. If you prefer and you don't like crescent, you can always put your foot down for warrior 1. For reasons that are good for my back, I keep myself in crescent. Sometimes I will do this one, particularly if my quads are tight, so if I've been athletic and out active. You have choices, but now you have to go down into a plank, exhale and lower halfway, sweep up into upward dog, and exhale, hinge back. Lifting side B or your left side, bring it forward, make a choice. A low lunge, a crescent, or a warrior 1, which is a pivoted foot backwards. Exhale, lower down, halfway, sweep up, and then hinge back. Okay, now 5 breaths here. You're adjusting your body, you're catching your breath, you're collecting your mind, you're staying interested in what your body's doing it and what you're asking it to do, and the fact that it does what you ask. Breathe in, and exhale. Okay, nice inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees. Float step, walk forward towards your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bending your knees, sweep your hands up, inhaling. Stand all the way up, and exhale, hands at your side. We're going to do 1 more of those. That's sun salutation B. So stay with me. Hip hinge back, sweep your arms up, inhaling. Hinge forward, exhale. Half lift, inhaling. Step back. You can choose lowering either into a half push-up and into a lower high cobra, or all the way up into an upward dog, and then push back into down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right foot forward. Same as last time, just getting used to balancing. Inhale, hands forward. Exhale, lower down, halfway through. Sweep up, open up your heart. Exhale, hinge back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, use all your powerhouse muscles. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Find that fabulous posture and balance. Exhale, lower down. Half push-up. Roll the shoulders back. Upward dog. Stomach in and up. Hinge back, downward dog. 5 breaths. Wow, you did it again. Keep breathing. If you need to move while you're here, don't hesitate. You can always move your legs. You can change your hand position. You're trying to keep a good steady pressure of your hands through the knuckles more so than the palm of the hand. Keep the carpal tunnel lifted. On your next exhale, bend your knees. Use your core muscles. Bring yourself forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, sit back. Sweep your arms up. Inhale, come up to standing. And there you go, Surya Namaskara B. We're going to take this into another variation. So we're going to go into triangle. So stand sideways on your mat. Take your right foot and point it forward towards the wall. Push your left hip back into the side of the opposite wall and slide gently down the side of your leg. Now you can go as far as you think is constructive for your body, but you're trying to slowly find your way. And you see me, I'm taking my time, breathing in and breathing out to get myself down properly to where I can put my peace fingers in between my big toe. That took me about 3 breaths. Sometimes it'll take me longer. Now I'm going to take my other arm up to the ceiling. I'm using both legs equally. It is very hard to balance here. So now you can see I'm asking for a full body balance that's more creative than linear. Bend the front knee and then gently slide up your leg and come back to square, straightening out your right leg. Take your left leg now, point it across the room. Push your right hip the opposite way, and then slowly take your time breathing. Slide down the leg. I'm walking you through it, doing it real time. I'm bringing the arm up sooner because it just went up on its own, and I'm okay with that. Peace fingers between the toes if you have it, or onto a block if you choose. The block can be in front or behind your ankle, but right near your ankle. If neither of those work for you, you stay up high, you stay to where you can get to. I've used all of these at different times. Today, this is the one that just feels good, so I'm running with it. Here we are balancing. Yeah, it takes a while, but you're working on your balance. You're twisted, you're at angles, and if we are practicing Pilates, we are elongating through our spinal column regardless of where we put the twins. Awesome, you guys. Okay, now bend that front knee and slowly come up to standing. Square everything out and then take the right foot out again. This one's a revolve, so we're going to twist across the room, inhaling, and then exhale, strong back, reaches our hand down towards our foot. You can get to your knee, your thigh, a book, a block, whatever you choose. I'm going to give you a different point of view so you can see it. I'm letting my feet be as far apart as I need so that I can twist, stay long in my spine, and then reach my arm up to the ceiling. This is what it looks like. I've twisted to the right with my left foot back, and I'm looking towards you now. Okay, so once again, we're in balance, but we're twisted in another direction. Inhaling, I'm going to work very hard right now to see if I can lengthen my spine inside of me while I work on this exercise with equal feet. One more breath, and exhale. Bend your knee, bring yourself upright, and straighten your right foot to center. Take your left foot out, push your right hip over, twist yourself across the room, and then reach your right hand down towards your left foot. You'll be extending your left arm up towards the ceiling. Your feet will have equal pressure. You're going to see me move, but mostly so I can see you and explain this more. While we're in this position, the outside of the feet are definitely engaging the foot to lift itself in the arc of the arch. Up through the knees, lifting the kneecaps. If you've got trochanters in your mind, reach them towards each other and take your soul cousin up and through your pelvic floor, and then start to elongate your spine. I can see my arms having a hard time finding the ceiling, which is good information. I didn't know that. Breathing. Good. Get that length. One more time. Nice. Now come out of this. Bend your front knee slightly. Come up to squaring. Bring both feet forward so that you're standing like this. Wonderful. Okay. To clear out our bodies a little bit, we're going to go through a vinyasa. So walk with me here. We're going to pivot towards the front of your mat, and lower down into a plank. You can do a half plank or all the way to the floor, whatever you like. Then sweep up into a low cobra or an upward dog. Then hinge back into a downward dog. Now that's called a vinyasa. It just clears out the last exercise and sets you up for the next ones. Breathe in and then exhale, bend your knees and bring yourself forward to your mat. Inhale, half lift, finishing the vinyasa if you will. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up, coming up to standing. Exhale, arms at your side. A lot of ways to do that. That's how we did it today. When you're ready, I'm going to have you stand back out into your triangle pose. We had just done this one. Right foot forward. I'm going to walk you into half moon. So it's a balancing pose. Taking your right knee, your left hip, go back into your triangle, sliding your right hand down your thigh as far as you think is reasonable. Once you're there, I want you to look towards the floor and bend your front knee, bringing your body over your ankle. Take that right hand or the front hand and place it about 12 inches in front of you, underneath where your shoulder is about to go. Then when you're ready, still looking downward, bring some weight onto your front leg, lift your back leg, turning the foot onto the horizon, and now you're in what's called half moon. Lots of variations. You can keep your gaze where you choose. You can also extend your left arm up to the ceiling. Breathe in here. Stay in the pose if you can. Lighten the load on your hand that's on the floor. Lift the load through the back of your leg. And then when you have time, breathing, elongate your spine where you can. Gently bend the front knee with control. Lower the back leg. Inhale, stand back up and square your feet. Right on. Okay, that was side A, half moon. Let's do the other side. So pivot your left foot out. Push your right hip over. Slide your left hand down your leg, getting to your triangle pose, wherever that is for you. I had to think about that for a second. Apologize. And then as you're ready, I want you to look down towards the floor. Bend your left knee, loading your knee over to your ankle. Then take your left hand about 12 inches in front of you where you think your shoulder could get to. And then lift your back leg up as you come into half moon. Now I noticed my right arm was already up. Sometimes it's not. It can be here. You can do binds where you take it behind you if you choose. But this is just one typical position. Lifting the back leg on the horizon, you can also slowly take your gaze across the room with the intention of bringing it up to your thumbs. I'm not going to do that for myself today, but you can choose it at any time. Then as you're ready, bring your eyes back down. Bend your front knee gently. Lower your back leg, bringing yourself back to standing. Rise up and square out your feet. Heel toe back together. Turn to face the front of your mat. Lower yourself down, and we will go through a vinyasa. Once again, just clearing out the body's movements. Exhale, hinging back into downward dog. Nicely done. From here, I want you to take yourself forward all the way to the front of your mat, keeping your hands down. Inhale, lift your right leg up. And again now, bring your left hand down onto the mat and twist your body back and up and open into half moon. So here's another way to get there. Now, bringing your hands back down to your mat and your foot back down onto the floor. Put yourself back into plank and go through a vinyasa. Sweeping your chest up, hinging your body back. Breathing in, exhale, bring your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift your left leg up as high as you can. Rotate your leg out, foot onto the horizon, lifting your left arm up, bringing your right hand to 12 inches in front of your foot. Adjust your vision or your view to be looking down your nose. And then inhale, bring your hands back to a plank, legs two, and then exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, sweep your chest up. Hinge backwards, downward dog. Fantastic. Nice job. As you're ready, inhale and then exhale, bring your knees forward and lower yourself down onto the ground. Okay, we're going to go through, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more exercises, and then we'll be done, just so you know where we're at. Okay, reverse plank is next. Clear out your sweet bottom cheeks. Sit nice and tall on your body. Take your hands back behind you. You can do a fist if you choose. Here, let me move so I'm all the way on the screen. There you go. I hope that's helpful. Yeah. Sorry for all the silly stuff behind me. Aren't you glad I just gave you a break? I hope you'd had a drink of water. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to do a reverse plank. We're going to do 3 sets of these, 5 breaths to each. These are really great because once again, as you're ready, they inform your body as to where you are in space, which improves your balance. Roll your shoulders out, get your waistline active. You can go on your own breath. I told you ahead of time and I'll remind you. Inhale, lift your hips up, trying to touch your feet to the floor. Open up your chest and breathe. Now you're working your arms into action. You're trying to lift your chest with your chest muscles. Using your core, we are all in the tree right now. One more breath, and then exhale and lower down. You can relax your wrists, whether you have them folded this way or that way or in a fist. I'm sure you changed them or wanted to. You can do that at any time. Permission to move at any time. Hands go back, open up your chest, and consider how could you improve the last one so that it's more comfortable for you. Find a way. Inhale and rise up and open up your chest. For me, I didn't put my head back as far. I think that was slightly uncomfortable. Breathing in through my chest, trying to lift that more instead of just pushing my head back. Trying to get my chest to lift itself. There we go. 2 more breaths, inhaling and exhaling. 1 more, and then lower down. Relaxing my wrists again, stretching forward if I like. Just a nice counter pose. And then last one. I have something else in mind this time to add to what can I do to make this more comfortable. I'm going to roll my inner thighs towards each other more securely. As I'm ready, inhale, rise up. Head stays in a good position. Arms are firing. Okay, inner thighs. Breathing in. Ah, where are my ankles? So now I'm playing with my ankles, trying to figure out where my inner thighs are. Oh, I can feel my hips opening. 2 more times. And exhale. 1 more time. And exhale. Oh, that was good. Not easy, but definitely good. I like to take the reverse plank now, back to where you're lowering yourself down onto your elbows and giving yourself a chance to push your chest upward. So my neck goes back a little bit more, but it's a little easier. Inhaling fully, pointing my toes gently. This would be an abbreviated version of what we just did. 2 more breaths, again, trying to open up my chest as I inhale, and then 1 more. Breathe in and bring your chin towards your chest and roll yourself down as you relax your neck and upper back, okay? So from here, we're gonna do a forward fold seated, come up to a seated position, clear out the bottom sit bone area, lift your back up, and then you can choose a couple different ways for this. You can come forward. There we go. Hold on. Trying to get in the screen better for you. There you go. You can go forward and hold your toes with your peace fingers. We've gone over that position in other times. You can hold the outside of your feet if you can get that far. You could put a strap or a magic circle around your feet and pull yourself forward. You could just gently hang forward. You get the idea, right? All right, so do whatever works for you. Breathing in, and then exhaling and taking yourself forward. I'm using a hinged effect in my back because it really helps me lengthen out of my SI joint. Gives me a last chance to get my shoulder blades to work evenly. And sets me up a little bit more square, which is the feedback that my brain needs in particular to try to help improve my balance. Nice. Okay, relaxing from that, come out into a child's pose. You know what that is, and then I'm going to talk you through Shavasana. So at this point, when I say Shavasana, many people are going to hit the pause button, which would be fine. Let me make sure you have your letter, which is B, letter B. That's what this one's about. You should be so close to spelling everything. If there were things in this group that you didn't like, you don't have to do them the next time you choose to do it, but keep relying on the videos as you need them. Okay, here's child's pose. You just extend your arms outward once again, and you let your head come down and you relax. At this point, we're improving our balance by letting our body interpret all the movements we just did. So the value in this pose is letting yourself breathe and relax into yourself. A lot of the exercises we did had an outward motion and then an inward motion. We're now just bringing all the motion inward so you can collect all the sensations that your feet and hands, your appendages, your arms and your legs, and your core experienced along with your cranium. It takes us one step closer to our next pose, which is Shavasana. You'll rise upward. If you've got extra clothes, now's the time to put them on, maybe a pillow or a blanket, all completely appropriate. Lie on your back, relaxing outward with your arms out and your legs outward. Just feel the sensation of the position behind you. It's probably something comfortable, I hope. And then you're asking for yourself to give yourself permission to lay still. Now for me that's a little bit of fidgeting, so go for it. Fidget your outfit, get it all set. And then start to walk yourself into closing off some of your senses. So you're just letting your eyes close. You're taking the roof of your mouth and separating it from your tongue if they happen to be together. And possibly letting your jaw slacken so it also separates. So you're just taking some things in your body and releasing them. As you breathe, whether it's conscious or not, allow the weight of your head to sink backwards. This is a gentle body inventory that I do inside my head. You can do it as well. As you continue, you're letting your throat, your neck, and your face also gently relax, whether it's the crinkles between your forehead or if it's the side crinkles at your crow's feet. Letting them be what they are, but also relaxed in their state. Inhaling and then exhaling. The shoulders, the tops of the shoulders, the sides of the arms, the thumbs, everything rolls out and relaxes. There's a gentle weight against you that you can feel by the sensation of breathing. This improves your balance. Breathing and again, letting the cavity of the chest open and expand. I think you get the idea. And exhale, allow the low back to lengthen and relax. Continuing on, the pelvis feels weightless as you inhale. And as you exhale, it settles into its natural state. You can even fidget, move, adjust, switch your position to help get it there. That's all about how do you find the opportunity to lay still. Sometimes it's actually through the action of motion that brings you to stillness. Breathing in, letting the weight of your legs experience that, those fine muscles that helped you balance before. Let them have their tone and their circulation. Let them relax when they have a resting moment. Using your breath to glide your mind down to your ankles and your feet. All the footwork we did, the ankle mobility, then the strengthening we recruited from certain positions. The steadfastness that you found in your ankles and your feet. From here, you can take Shavasana wherever you want. I'm going to slide out silently. You can continue on with your day. Thanks for meeting me here. I appreciate it. This is my last video, I think, or maybe one more. I shouldn't be too presumptuous. I have a mix and match, but it's a short one. Okay. Rest. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope your balance is better than when we started.